She said, 20 years ago, I cheated on you. And I said, I know. Now, how would I know? I didn't know. I didn't know. And I'm just praying. I'm praying, God, give me peace. And at this point, my heart's just beating through my chest. And I understand what I just heard. I say I knew already, yet I can't believe what I just heard. And of course, a million questions are going through my head, and I ask her, with who? And she said, and I'm going, why? Why would you do this? Why'd you do it? I've never been physically abusive, mentally abusive, verbally abusive. I've never done that to you. Maybe I haven't been the best husband, but I don't understand, And she didn't have an answer. The best she could answer was, that I was away a lot. I'd come down and visit family while she was still there, and I wasn't showing her affection. She wasn't giving me excuses. She was just saying that's all she could figure. And so we talked about it for a while, and I can't explain what was going on. It was very odd. It was almost like out of body, and this may sound strange to you. It sounds strange to me, but she then tells me, please forgive me. Through this, she's asking for forgiveness, and I immediately say, of course I forgive you. Okay, well, I'm looking down at myself at this point going, what do you mean you forgive her? What do you mean you forgive her? And what do you mean you knew? There's no way you can forgive her for this. It doesn't matter that it was 20 years ago, because to me, it just happened. People say, 20 years, don't worry. No. For me, it was fresh on my mind. It had just happened. It wasn't 20 years ago. And I'm looking down at myself going, how can you forgive her? How can you even be lying there next to her? Yet, I'm in total peace. Now, that makes zero sense at all. Zero. And we get done talking. We go to sleep. I don't sleep, obviously. I'm up all night. Not because of lack of peace. It's weird. I still have peace, but I'm just broken. I'm broken. I'm hurt. I'm asking myself why. What could I have done differently? I've got, of course, visuals going through my head, these thoughts, and it's just all very negative. And I'm praying, God, you've got to get me through this. I can't do this. I can't do it, And I get through the night, and the next morning we get up. It's a bit awkward, as you can imagine, but she goes to work, and I get up, take our son to school, come home, pull out my Bible, my devotionals, books. I'm on YouTube looking at sermons. I'm just buried in the Word, because it's all I can do. I go back to God's timing, because it's perfect timing. I'm just finishing practicum, so I'm not seeing clients yet. I'm living with my parents, which isn't ideal, but because of that, I stay in my old room, because it's my only space. And so I'm there with books everywhere, and I'm just in it, and I'm reading and I'm praying all day long. And she's texting me throughout the day, apologizing, asking for forgiveness, and is there anything I need? And she, and I'm just saying, pray for me, and I assure her that everything's okay. But it's not, I have peace, but it's still, I'm just having this battle, this war going on inside my brain, of where I went wrong and how I caused it. And a few days go by of this, and I'm still have this peace, I truly believe that I've forgiven her, and things begin to change. Our marriage, I told you our marriage, it was a good marriage. I thought it was a real good marriage. Like I said, we didn't fight or anything like that, but it begins to change, and it's something it has never been. And what I mean by that is there's this love, and I can't explain it. It wasn't my love. It was an unconditional love. It was a love that provided all these new things, like putting her first, a serving heart. You know, I would get the door. I'd find myself getting the door for her, opening the door for her. I'd find myself doing all these things so she wouldn't have to do them. I've never been a very physical, affectionate person, like holding hands and hugging and stuff. I don't do that. That's not me. Or that's what I used to say. And I found myself doing those things without making a conscious effort to do them. They just happened, which was weird to me. And I began to think, what is going on? I've lost it. I'm gone nuts. I mean, seriously, I've gone crazy. But this feeling, this unconditional love, this peace, I can't explain it. It was there. And it changed every aspect of our marriage. Not that our marriage was bad, but it changed it. And I was no longer looking at putting myself first. I was putting her before me. Not on purpose. So this goes on for a couple weeks, and I'll never forget it. We're going to a store, and we park, and in the back of my mind, there'd been something. There'd been just this unrest, this small speck of anger. And I blew up. Not at her, but inside, I could feel this rage coming on. And we got into a conversation before we got out of the car, and everything came back. And I told her what would have happened 20 years ago had I found out, you know, that it'd be over. This guy would have been dealt with, she'd have been dealt with, and bad things would have happened, you know. And that obviously didn't go well, but I wanted her to know that it wasn't okay, you know, and that it wasn't right, it wasn't fair. I had done nothing to her to deserve it, and I didn't deserve, you know, this bad thing to happen to me. And, you know, I was mad, and it came out. And of course, you know, she had nothing she could say, you know. So at that point, I was going, what's wrong with me? You know, I've got peace, yet here this thing is eating away at me.